Hi, welcome back to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super Card Game Fusion World content. I'm gonna show you something crazy. From a box of FB01, 02, and 03, I mixed all the cards and I created 16 different decks. So in the next videos, I'm gonna show you all these decks and these leaders individually. This video will be dedicated to Cooler as a leader. Cooler is very cool because as a leader it starts with critical, so there will be no cards going to your hand since the beginning almost. And then on your turn, if this card gets plus 5000, he awakens. No, sorry, so stupid. I'm a bit tired. So this card on your turn always have plus 5000 power, and then awakes or 4 as normal, and then it goes to cooler second form, that on your turn once you can discard one card from your hand, and then you can choose one of your battle cards with the cost 4 less and freeze a clan, uh, and or the 1 energy and switch it to active mode. So basically you can, this is useful to attack twice or to attack with blockers and then activate them, making them active to block. So you'll be extending a little bit with cooler, risking a little bit more because you can always make them active. So let me see, let's see the deck that I've built with the cards so far. So we start with, let me show you. Whoops, where are you going, cooler? To the cooler himself, the man, the full art and the normal one, same card. But I'm gonna show you the man, the legend here with the full art. I love the art of these full art cards foiled. They're so beautiful. I know it's a piece of cardboard, it's a paper thing, but I can stare at it all day. Look at it. Look at how it shines, how the light changes while you move the card. It's amazing. It's amazing. So it's a blocker, 30,000 on 4, and then when he attacks or when he is blocking, you can choose up to one of your opponent battle cards and switch it to rest mode. Then, if that card has a cost of 2 or less, you can KO. So basically, you can KO on the spot or just rest things that will be attacked. Or when he's blocking, rest things that won't attack. So that's cool. So I've put 2 of them here, and then his friends will be starting the Golden Freezer. So he's a 6, also a very shiny card here. So he has a permanent effect, which is your opponent battle cards with a cost of 5 or more are played in rest mode. Wow, so the big boys come into play tapped. And then when you play this one, you can choose up to one of your opponent rests. Choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards and KO it. So you can rest. Now when you play, you rest, and then permanently you can, it's cool. Then there is the other version that I'm using from the starter deck here, because it's also a Freezer Clan combo here. See, with Freezer Clan trait that says it has double strike, so it's always good double strike. When he hits, it's 2 cards that go away. Then when he attacks, you can choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards, and you can switch to active during this next turn. So those big guys that will be the killers, because of Golden Frieza, they don't they don't switch to active. So it's always a pain in the ass, and it's always every time he attacks, you will be freezing one of the creatures. Then I included 2 Mech Freezers. It's a rare card. Then when you play, you also play 1 King Cold with a cost 4 from your hand. So not sure how useful this is, but I included lots of King Colds, as you'll see. So I'm hoping that I can do the combo in order to put a King Cold for free. And other 2 freezes here. This one, so the normal version and the full art version. So this is a super powerful creature, powerful card because it's a 4 and he has 40,000. But the catch is that it cannot be switched to active during the charge phase. So you really need to play this with a strategy. And the strategy is basically, above all, is the fact that you can it has 4 or less, so you can, and it's freeze a clan, so you can switch it to active. That's the way you switch this back to active, will be through Cooler the leader. So this is completely a killer card because with 40 there's not much you can do, and if you want to block something you need to pay a lot of battle cards to combo, right? So in order to stop this freezer, your opponents need to sell their soul to the devil. Okay. Then I also went into Meta Cooler as well. Probably I'm mixing here lots of strategies, but these decks are not competitive, just for fun, just for me to have the chance to experience all these cards, right? So with Meta Cooler here, you can on the main turn you can switch this guy to rest, and you can play 2 Meta Coolers from your drop, meaning that these meta coolers will never go away. I included 6, you'll see that. So 6 of not the core, the normal one, because that card you can include as many as you want. So with these things, these guys will just coming back from drop like crazy, and they play. So they go into the game like crazy. I hope that that's the case. So I guess this will also there should be a deck only based on this metacoolers, metacooler core, and just cards for multiplying those metacoolers like crazy. Probably one day with more cards in the game that will exist as well. Then, what about 3-4 meta freezers? With 25, which are blockers, so good for attacking, and then through cooler to come back and become active. But because he's a blocker, when he dies, you look at 3 cards on the top of your deck, reveal 1 Freezer Clan, and place it on your hand, and the rest was for the bottom of the deck. So it's a sacrifice cooler, a sacrifice freezer, in order to trigger the ability there. So it's always good when blockers, when they die, they do something, because that's the role of a blocker, right? It's to block, maybe preferably not to die, right? But if he has to block, probably needs to die. So let's do something else. And then here I have 3 king calls, and I also have 2 of these king calls, which both types will trigger with those mecha freezes that I've shown you. This one is a blocker, and when he blocks, you can switch this card to active mode. Okay, so you can block, and then he is still active. So it could be like an infinite blocker. No, it's only once per turn. No, not infinite, just once. Once is enough. Probably once is enough. Then there's the freezer in a cocoon here, which on your turn and once per turn, automatically when this card is switched to active mode by a skill, like using cooler, you choose up to one of your opponent's rests battle cards with a cost 4, and it cannot switch to active during the opponent's next turn. So freezer is always screwing the same way. Then Meta Cooler. This one is a blocker, and it comes back to active at the end of the turn. So it doesn't need tricks, it just comes back naturally. Cool one, that's a cool cooler. Cool cooler. Then Salsa. 3 Salsas. On your turn, switch this card to rest, and you can play 1 battle card with the cost 2 or less and Cooler Squadron in his special trait. So he can bring his friends, basically. So this is a deck which has a mix of Freezer Clan and Cooler Clan. I think they both work well together so far with the available cards, so there's no... I don't think there are enough cards to do a cooler deck, right? Because even the cooler deck, it says Freezer Clan, so it's also extending to his brother Freeze, etc. So that's why I've mixed everything. Then took Shield. So Shield is... I don't know who Shield is. Probably from another universe, but it's also Freezer Clan. I definitely Not sure who shield is. It doesn't seem to be from. Indeed, it doesn't seem to be from another universe because it's Frieza clan and not universe whatever. But I need to look it up and see what shield is because I've never heard of him. Is it from a side story, from Heroes or something? I don't know. I need to take a look. If you know who he is, just tell me in the comments, right? So he has a permanent on the other opponent's turn, and all your battle cards with Frieza clan get plus 5,000. So I put two because he's really OP. Really OP. You see all these Frieza cards, and then you put this guy, and everything has plus 5,000 almost. Only the cooler minions will not benefit from that. But anyway, all the freezes, 45. And then, as promised, I included to play around with these things. I included six meta coolers because when he dies, if you have another one from your hand, you can put it in play. And then if you have the core, you can put them back. And then these guys simply don't go away. And it's 20,000, so 20,000 can already threaten a lot of leaders. So why not? I think this meta cooler deck should be pretty annoying, but very fun. Then on the three cost stage or tier, I have three coolers here. Then I found an interesting card, which is this Naze card that is a special common here, and three normal ones. So Naze says is a blocker, and then when you play, you can add one card from your life to your hand. So it's to speed up strategically for your leader to get to the point. The way I play is that the first four cards I always take the damage in order for the leader to awaken. And then from the four last cards, I'm always protecting the leader for sure in order not to lose the game. But I guess that's a good strategy because you really want the leader to go as fast as possible to the awaken stage. You don't need to delay that. I guess this is valid for every deck. So every card that allows you to speed up, I think it's a good thing on a certain stage of the game. Then when he wakes, you don't want to lose your life because that's your real life starts at 4. The others are to be burned. That's how I see most of these decks. Then I included 3 doors. When you play, you can choose up to one of your cooler cards and switch it back to active. So to combo with Salsa again, these two Salsas which are critical in the beginning. It's not. And then this is the one mana. Did I say one mana? One energy cooler blocker that you can pay 3, and you can return this card to the owner's hand to play a cooler with a cost of 4. So it's for you to play the basically the big one cheaper. So you can play it sooner. And I only have one because I think the purpose here is a 5,000 to add plus 5,000 in combo. So it's a blocker of 5,000. I guess the only purpose is you play this on the first turn, and then on the third turn you are already putting the big cooler, and that's it. I don't see anything special here. Maybe this is one card that, because I only have 2 of the bigger coolers, it's too expensive. I don't go that competitive. Play at home, right? So maybe with future cards for cooler, this is a candidate to leave the deck. Then I have here 4 We Are Coolers Armored Squadron. When if you have a total of 2 or more cooler squadron among your leader and battle cards, you can draw a card and switch up one of your energy to active. So this can go for free. Okay, and you draw a card. You need to have two coolers. So it's 1 to draw a card and get the energy back. It's to draw a card basically for free. And then 2 of Supernova, the final attack of cooler maybe. Activate battle mode. On your turn, choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards and gets plus 2000 power for the battle. Then you choose up to one of your opponent's rest battle cards with a cost 4 or less, and it cannot switch during the next turn. So this freezer, or maybe these yellows, I don't know yet, what is these freezers? They like to freeze. They like to indeed freeze the opponent's battle cards. So anyway, you see what I'm doing here. I use these top loaders in order to flip the leader, and also it serves as a good separator on the deck boxes. I have those big boxes to store lots of cards, so I use this as separator. It works very well, and I like to flip it. It feels like, wow, look at that, I'm flipping the guy. The leader, very important. I hope you have liked this video to the point that you consider hitting that like button. And as you've seen in the beginning, I'm doing a video for every leader and starter deck. So I have a playlist dedicated to that, which I invite you to then check the channel, check the playlist, consider subscribing, and either I will release these videos after, or by the time you see these videos, everything is already in the channel. So good luck in going through all the decks there. Leave your comments, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.